What's up, everybody? It's Immahungryfisherman. Y'all know my friend Thomas. He's been in several of my videos at Hickom, even at Waikiki the Wall, and he's the one that supplies me with my Duo International lures. I love Duo. After he introduced me to them, and whenever he can, he gives me either new stuff that you got, like, you know, samples and whatnot. And I'll be honest, almost every single one of them that he's given me, I've caught something on. But he's got a special treat for you guys today that he's going to be talking about that Duo just gave you, or you just
brought out.
Oh, okay, so just brought out. And he's going to give you guys some little knowledge on the company of Duo. Enjoy. Go for it.
What's up, guys? My name is Thomas. I represent BKK, Duo, and Tokuru. I'm the state representative for all three brands here in Hawaii. I also work at High Fish Gear.
Yes.
So
love that store. If you guys don't know where it is, go check it out. highfishgear.com.
On the web, yep. And some of these products, the ones I'm going to be showing you guys tonight, are available at highfishgear.com. Okay, so what I want to do is give you a little information about Duo. Duo is a Japanese company. They are located in Shizuoka in Japan. It's like hop, skip, and a jump from Mount Fuji. I know that because I've been there. Their factory is awesome. But now, so when I went there, I learned a little bit about Duo. I got to see how they make their lures and stuff like that. A lot of the lures and stuff, they make the molds for the lures themselves, and then when they do the foil work and the painting and stuff, all that is done by hand. Duo International really prides themselves on their quality. If you look at a Duo lure compared to some of the other lures, you can tell the workmanship. Whether it be an extra, looks like an eyelid on it looks like a little eye on one of the lures or something like that, but they really pride themselves on it.
One of the things I like is that, you know, especially like on the jigs, it's very faint, but that there's that little thing on the jigs that makes it look like it's got a mad eye. Like, it looks like the jig is mad, right? But I mean, you guys seen that the Duo stuff works, you know. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt because you said that eye thing, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Now, and the thing is, so they really pride themselves on quality. One of the things about Duo, they say the Nippon quality. That's actually even part of their logo. You know, their Duo logo, their black and their white logo. And it's really cool. I mean, I've been dealing with Duo for about 5 years already. And, you know, Hawaii market, 1 year, about 4 years ago, was the top selling Amasa in the world, actually. So we actually sold more Amasas in Hawaii than the entire, even the JDM market. Just pretty impressive. And that's all because of you guys, as well as, you know, all the other word of mouth and everybody that helped contribute to that.
So I have some of those Omasas. I've given, I think, what, 3 away?
At least. For
the giveaways. And I threw the Omasa a couple times, but up until now, I really didn't have a reel or a rod that could actually handle it. So I wasn't really...
And what would you use to throw an Amasa?
Well, I was using, what was I using? I started out using a 9-foot Okuma.
So my basic plugging setup.
That's what my first one was.
My basic plugging setup would be at least a 10-6, whether it be a Speedmaster, a Terraleo. I am very partial to Shimano because
Shimano freak.
Shimano is the bomb, in my opinion. But I'm very partial to Shimano. I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I appreciate their work that they put out. I have a Saragossa as well as a Terraleo that I matched it up. So I have a Saragossa 6000 with a Terraleo 10.6 medium heavy, which is actually a perfect setup. I think I run like 40 on it because it's my smaller setup. Just recently got a 10K like today, but that's beside the point. But so I'm basically gonna put that 10K on and be able to throw some of the stuff that I'm gonna be showing you guys today.
So because of him and because of his brother Bill, who owns High Fish Gear in Eva Beach, They were able to get me a 10.6 Speedmaster and throws up to 5 ounces.
And that's heavy for you.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
really heavy.
I normally, like, you guys know, I like the max I throw is like 60 grams, which is like 2 ounces, right?
And I always tell them you need to get a better setup. You always need to get a better setup. I've always been telling you that.
But I mean, so I got that, and then I've been, I also have a 14K Shimano Spheros, because, you know, Shimano guys
Are
you
pushing him to upgrade his stuff. So
you cannot,
that's a good thing.
you can't beat the smoothness of Shimano, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting rid of my pen stuff because they're just breaking down way too quickly. Sorry, pen, but I still love my Okuma stuff.
Yeah.
I still love my Okuma stuff. It works. The Rockaways are fantastic.
Rockaways are good.
Okay.
I like selling those. They're very easy to sell.
Yeah, but they're very good poles. That's the thing. You know,
That's why I sell them so easy.
yeah. And then I do have my my 2 Assassins I have. I got to replace an eye on one of them, and then on the extra heavy, I still use that. That's the one that I've been throwing the 60-gram jigs on. But now that I have the Speedmaster,
Yep, Speedmaster is an
I'm gonna-
awesome pole. Considering the
with that.
Speedmaster is, so basically in Shimano's lineup, they have 3 of their, what they call their saltwater rods. One is the Terramar, which has a funky split, and that's the reason we don't bring
is
it
that
here
the
to Hawaii.
70-30?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the Terramar.
That's for the 70-30 is for the backbone on it.
Yeah, and then you have the Terraleo, and that's pretty much become the standard for Shimano
$350 rod.
Yeah, but still, that's been kind of become the standard for throwing good sized plugs and stuff. They're heavy, pretty sure it's right up to like 6 ounces.
Yeah.
So it's really good. Whereas the Speedmaster is half the price, and it can throw up to 5 ounces. So
It's the same blank, different rod components.
yeah, different rod
And
components.
as long as you take care of your gear,
It will last.
so you really don't, like, I know it'd be nice to get a Terraleo. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
But get what you guys can. That's what this whole
Yes.
whole part of the conversation is.
And
get what you guys can.
And the thing is, what you want to do is when you decide you want to start plugging, what you got to do is think, okay, what do you want to throw?
Mm-hmm.
You say,
What
okay, what
size?
size? I mean, what size? How heavy? I mean, so if your pole is up to 5 ounces, you don't need to go out and find a 5 ounce lure to throw,
Yeah.
because that is considered like the top of your spectrum. You don't
And-
want to do that.
And you got to think, when you're throwing those big lures, you're going to be casting over and over and over, and you're doing crank and pop, crank, pop. You know, if it's a cup face, and then if you got a pencil, you got to try and walk the dog, and
Yep.
it's all kind of stuff that I'm learning myself.
Yep.
But
And the thing is too, with those kind of lures, you really have to work them.
yes,
One thing about duos lures is that they put so much effort and research and development.
Mhm.
Is that a lot of the lures, you just have to reel it in.
yeah.
The lure does all the work for you.
And if you guys don't believe me, go buy a Dual International jerk bait. They have one that looks exactly like an Ohana. I found one at the shop. He got it for me. I've hooked up so many times with that thing, but I just changed out the hooks. So I finally actually brought in a couple that I didn't get on camera. But like, you should just see the action. It's like,
And another one is that, even in like the plug-in stages, is a brand called Rough Trail Blazing.
mm-hmm.
The Blazins, they have one that's like 2 1/4 ounces, which is, for a plugger, is like right in the.
That's the beginning
That's
stage.
like the beginning, 2 1/4. The cool thing about that one is people who are trolling with them use them too.
Mhm.
People who are like on the kayaks and stuff like that, they drop that way back and let it run, and people
but
have hooked up.
you also
shooties
got the
and
one
stuff
that
on it.
has a really big lip on the rough trail.
That
yeah.
one, so that one is the that one is gonna be coming up here very soon. That one is called Fang Bait. Fang Bait 140 DR. It's a relative.
I saw it
It's a relatively new lure, but before it was Fang Shad. They actually changed it up a little bit.
Because that's one you gave me the first
Yes.
year for my birthday, yeah?
Yes. So they changed it up a little bit because this is the saltwater version. They have a mullet, a sardine, they have a wahoo, and there's like one other color. There's like 4 colors in that, but those are going to be up on High Fish Gear very soon.
Okay.
But yeah, so what I wanted to show you guys today was a couple new lures that Duo has come out with. This first one is, you know, I've been talking with Duo for many years. We need an Amasa popper. We need a bigger profile popper.
I've been telling him that too.
And, you know, and they finally listened. So what I present to you guys today is the Duo Rough Trails. They call this one Bubbly. So this right here, put it up close to the camera so you guys can see it. This right here is the Duo Rough Trail. This one is the scaled Karamasu. Karamasu, yeah, Karamasu. And let Thomas hold that, make it look pretty. And I'll give you guys a little specs. This Bubbly, they call it Bubbly because when you do it like a dart and splash, and you know, and it does that pause and it mesmerizes the fish, and then, you know, and then, but so the weight on this one is 95 grams. So this is actually almost the same weight as a 188 Amasa, the SF. Now the other cool thing about this is the profile. This thing is huge looking,
But it's not heavy.
It's only 95 grams. Now, when these come in the packages, they do come what we call naked with lures. They come with split rings on them. And what I suggest on these is run a inline, preferably a Diablo, probably a Diablo 8 or 9 on the back of this. And then you're probably gonna wanna run a 3 or 4 treble on the front. Our predators, especially the pupil and stuff, have a tendency to hit the front of the lure. I've been seeing this more and more and more when we use jigs. What happens is
They hit the stinger hook.
They hit the stinger hook. I have stinger hooks that have just been destroyed.
Yep.
I mean, you get 5-6 fish on a stinger hook, and the little feather is just a little tinsel is just gone.
In fact, here, perfect example. I went out to Hickam with Jeep and Allen just this other week to go and try and catch Owamas. We didn't do good, let's just put it that way. They were not in a biting mood. They were everywhere, but they were not in a biting mood. But when we first got there and we were looking for the pile, there was a aha, you know, what's that thing called? An alley? No, what is it? Anyways, it's an aha. Blue bone, they call it also.
Yeah.
Looks
like a gar.
big. Yeah, but this big, ugly face, everything like that. Anyways, we heard it splashing. Boom. All of a sudden you see an aha about this big jumping really quickly out and away, and had a wama like this, perfectly right in the middle in its mouth. So I mean, I've noticed a lot when I'm using the jerk baits and stuff, or even the jigs, a lot of times you will catch them on the middle because that's where they're going for. Not necessarily going for the tail, because higher chance of not getting the fish, I'm guessing.
What happens is when a predator, you gotta remember, when you see fish jumping, hitting bait and stuff, they are excited. The fish that are hitting the bait fish are lit up. If you throw anything out there where they are splashed or they're hitting bait and stuff like that, if you throw anything even near where they go and you rip it through where you just saw the splash, 90% of the time you're gonna get hit. They're gonna hit what you're throwing out there. It's just because fish are very territorial, especially when they're eating their baits. If they see something ripping through right where they just hit, you have a real high probability of getting hit. You know, this one is the bubbly. Reason being is, if you look real carefully, it's got a big old cup face, and that's what's gonna push the water through. You know, it's gonna push the water through, and everything like that. We will probably, so what I'm gonna do today for this one, I'm gonna be giving this to Thomas as a giveaway.
Oh,
this bubbly.
okay, it's a giveaway.
It's gonna be a giveaway. I'm not giving him this to use, but this is gonna be a giveaway. So as a thank you for you guys, you know.
Most definitely.
Now, another lure that they just came out with is called the Fumble. Now, the difference between this and an Amasa, like I said, the 188 Amasa is like 92 grams. This lure right here is 100 grams. What is 100 grams?
Don't ask me. What is it? 20. What is it? 26 grams to an ounce or
something like that. But this lure is big. If you guys look at it, this is the profile on this lure. The one that you're looking at right now is called Genki Sardine. This profile is huge. Now, the shape of it, if you notice the shape, it's kind of big over here and kind of slanted almost back, almost kind of like back this way. They do that for the darting motion. What they want, I mean, so you'd be able to like reel it in, and this thing is gonna be not necessarily sinking, but it's gonna be slashing through the water.
These are both floating, huh?
Yes, these are both floating. So when you throw this out, it's gonna sit in the water just like this. This and the bubbly both will do it like just like this. Now, this lure also comes with naked. As I said, I'd probably recommend a 7.0 Diablo on the back, and then a probably a 4 on the stuff. You gotta remember, these lures, you know, I've seen 1-2 pound popillos hit lures bigger than these.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, popillos are crazy. You know, when they're excited and they're hungry, they're gonna hit whatever they see, even if it is the same size or bigger than they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, this one is 230 mm, 9 inches long. It is 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. So right in line with your Speedmaster. And also right in line with the Terraleo and everything like that. So these aren't going to be the top end of your plugging holes.
There's a weight right there. It's got a through wire construction.
All these new lures have wire construction all the way through.
And it's got it doesn't have a loud, obnoxious rattle. It's got a softer rattle.
Which is actually the weight system inside to help you get a better cast.
And see how I meant they always look mad?
You know, mad bait, you know, bait needs to look mad because you need to upset the fish to make them bite.
Right.
Yeah, so this one is like I said, this one is the Rough Trail Fumble 230F, which is floating. And like we said, it's gonna sit like this. It's gonna sit like that as soon as you throw it in. And then
all the weight's right here.
Yeah.
And that's for the cast.
Yep. So yeah, these are 2 of the new things. They also came up with a blue drive, which I don't have a sample of, but it is available on highfishgear.com. The blue drive has a big lip to it.
So I'm very disappointed in Thomas. I came prepared with my UV light. They have this one, right? This one has a UV glow.
Not a UV glow though.
No, glow.
It's a UV shine.
So if you're using it in the daylight, it shines even more in the water when it's sunny. I learned that not too long ago.
So the colors that they have on this one are the Genki sardine, they have the scaled sardine, they have the scaled kamasu, and then they have flying fish, they have live sari, and then they have the blue shine.
Nice.
That's the 6 colors, and those colors are in the bubbly and the fumble. And those are available on highfishgear.com.
The one that I really wanted to talk to you guys about that I just got from him about 2 weeks ago, and that is the pencil. Which one was that?
Oh, the Pencil 130.
Yeah,
the realist Pencil 130.
Oh my God. Go and get this one. It glows. It's about that long. Okay.
And that's the Waka mullet.
Oh my God. I used it this past weekend just to play around with it. And I was using my 9-foot Rockaway with my 5,000 Shimano Socorro with 33-pound test Tokuro braid on it. And I was using a 40-pound test mono leader. That thing, it's not heavy at all by any means, but with that setup, I can sail it at least 60 to 70 yards. And it glows in the dark. And the thing is, like, so the sides don't glow of the lure. It's the edges on the bottom and up towards the top, just the head part and the tail part. But that part in the middle is clear. So the glow from the bottom goes all the way up. But when you light up the whole thing, the entire profile lights up. And I was whipping it out there, and I was just do. You can actually see this thing
Guarding and everything like
in
that.
the water at night. And I mean, there wasn't anything busting on the surface. I just wanted to see what it would look like. But I guarantee you that if fish were busting on the surface, that thing would get something. So I don't know how many you have left. When I was there and I got this one, there's only like 3 left.
I have more.
Okay, go look at that. Go check it out. highfishgear.com. Okay.
The other thing I wanted to mention is when we're talking about jigs are there, you know, people don't really understand the whole concept of shoreline jigging. You know, there's different concepts of shoreline jigging. When you're fishing from shore, you're not gonna throw out your lure and let it hit the bottom and start reeling it in.
No.
Because you're gonna get stuck on your first cast and there goes your lure.
Yeah.
So the
$12
key,
lure.
12, 15, 20,
17.
whatever. Yeah. So the key to shoreline jigging is be ready to close your bell. If it's a bigger reel, you know, you're gonna have to close your bell manually, or just start cranking to close your bell as soon as it hits the water. Basically, what you want to do is you want to fish in this column of water. Even if you're on a beach, you know, you want to fish in this top column of water because that's where your predators are. 90% of the time, the trevally and everything, they call them reef raiders and stuff like that because they're on top of the reef and they're hitting the fish that's right above the reef.
Yeah.
So guess what? That is this column of water. Your predators, most of the time, hit in that column of water, the top water.
And good point, making sure that it's on the top. You got to reel fast, right?
Yes.
And you're jigging it as you're going, and you're reeling it fast.
Now,
So it's doing this.
And that's the thing too. You're not necessarily. I mean, if in deeper spots, yes, you can let your jig sink.
As
a
you
little
guys
bit.
seen at
You can
Pickle.
go to 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000.
Yeah.
But when you're on a beach jigging, as soon as it hits the water, you need to be reeling.
But like I was saying, a lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people, and they're like, no, you got to do it slow. You got to do it slow. It's, you know, so the fish has time to react. If you think about it, Papio, trevally, avas, any predator that's not an ambush, that is not an ambush predator, love to chase, and they are built for speed. So if you're going real fast, that excites them more.
Yes, definitely.
Than doing this.
Yeah, and that's the key too. When you're reeling in, if you're shoreline jigging, when you're reeling in, what you want to do is you want to establish a pace, a rhythm, and what you want to do is you want to keep going. And the thing is, you establish your rhythm. You know what your gear feels like when you're reeling it in. Anything that's abnormal of what you're used to feeling, that's a bite. If you're reeling in and then all of a sudden it stops, you need to set the hook.
You'll feel it. Like
You'll feel it. You'll
like
feel.
I told Jeep,
a
you
pulse.
will know when you get hit when you're jigging. And he was like, okay, and boom, he got that first and it's half the time you're already doing this, so it's already setting the hook and it's just boom,
taking off.
So I really think that if you haven't tried jigging from shoreline jigging, try it. There's also, if you for you ultralight guys, there's the
micro jigs.
Yeah, the Tetra Works
micro jigs.
And they are awesome.
They go from like 10 grams up to, we got 10 grams and 12 grams in stock right now.
And there's one that looks all chrome, but it's glow.
Yep.
That one's my favorite that I've been asking for.
And then even lower than that, we have the TetraWorks Ikako.
Yep.
Which looks like a little squid.
Mm-hmm.
And they use it like a translucent material or translucent material.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost looks like you can see through it. That's the pink glow.
Yeah.
And those glow as well. You could even use those to catch a coolie with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you don't necessarily need to use a small lure to catch a coolie. We've already proven that. I've caught in like that with a 60-gram jig.
Yeah, we've caught a coolie using 40-gram jigs, and a lot of times they're hitting the stinger.
Yeah.
Because they're attracted to the tensile, which you shoot it with the UV light and it reflects and hit you like that.
All of that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know that we're kind of like just going off on tangents here. But bottom line, High Fish Gear has got new stuff. They're always getting new stuff, and thanks to Thomas right here, you got really nice new stuff. So for any of you that are big time big game pluggers, stick bait artists,
or even somebody who wants to just try something big, you
can either go on the website highfishgear.com. I'm sounding like Bill on his lives. Okay. Or go down to the shop. He works Sunday, Monday, off Tuesday. So Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay.
Most of the time.
You want to ask him about any of this? He will talk your ear off. Okay. But he's really knowledgeable. I love the guy. He hooked me up with so much stuff. He's the one that taught me how to shoreline jig. And I gotta say, it's
changed the way you fish.
Well, I mean, it's like even Jeep says it's almost like a passion now to get that bite on that jig, because it doesn't, like, if you
chase it.
Yeah, and like depending on where the fish hits, if you get it on the treble, you're going straight in line with that jig, and it's just a dog fight. But if you get that on the stinger, it's a completely different ball game. The fight feels weird.
It's intense.
It's like it's strong but sluggish, and then all of a sudden, boom! It's so interesting, and like the alpha.
Fishing with jigs has changed the way I fish. I hardly even bring out my big poles anymore. You get so attached to the top water bite or mid water bite, it becomes addictive.
It is.
You chase the rush. At certain places, it's like, is it time yet? Is it time yet? You're anxious for it to be time to start throwing jigs.
And if you guys are gonna go doing it at night, make sure that you guys know the area.
Definitely.
Please be careful.
Know your area. Make sure
scout it. Okay.
Yes,
if you guys know the area, great. If you know what times of the year, months, moon phase, tide that they bite, great. For you that don't, just be careful. Go scout it out. Make sure you're safe.
Yep.
You can always buy new gear.
Yep.
That'll make you happy. But you can't buy a new you. Exactly.
Definitely.
Just be safe. I mean, you always hear about fishermen all over the world getting messed up because they think that they're young boys still yet, or young women, or daredevils. They let go and jump rocks and stuff like that. The fish is not worth your life. Like, I refuse to go to ratchets because I hear it's extremely dangerous. I'm 42 years old. I'm an old man.
I won't fish in China Walls right now.
Really?
Nope.
I want to try.
I will.
But needless to say, anyways, so you know what? I'm gonna say it right now. You have 2 weeks from today, which would be what?
The first, right around the beginning of October.
Okay, so 2 weeks from today, you have 2 weeks to either go and catch a fish, have a fish on a picture or whatever, or go out and get a dual lure and catch a fish. Okay, you have 2 weeks. What's the MSRP on this thing?
$39.99.
This is a $40 lure, okay, that he's giving you guys. Send it to your Facebook.
Send it to you, man.
Me?
It's all you.
All right. Send to Immahungryfisherman at gmail.com. Any pictures, your screen name for YouTube, I will. Yeah, let's just do it that way. And then you have to be subscribed. Okay, that's the bottom line, because this is not for just anybody. This is for the people who watch the channel. Thank me and thank him. This is for you guys. Okay. But
right on, brother. Thank you much, and
yeah.
thank you guys.
Yep.
You guys have a good one, and
As
peace.
always, guys, stay hungry.